This is the Daily Paycheck on CTTV. I am John from ProCrafts, and what we're doing on this show is two things. One, building a master bankroll from $10,000 to $100,000, 10% at a time, compounding our master bankroll with those small incremental wins. It's going to be an exercise, folks, in extreme discipline. It's tough to win 10%. It's even tougher to walk when you're up 10%. And the second major thing I want to test out here is strategies. We want to see, are there strategies or betting patterns that can earn us a consistent 10% day after day? Specifically, can they last a full month of live simulated playtime? My rolls, my spins, my card play, and yeah, some of my bad luck. Ultimately, I want to know, are there strategies that we can trust to deliver us a daily paycheck? And I will do it all live for you. No editing of videos, no fudging results, no nothing. It's easy to do this one time and show a win. We're gonna show this for 20 straight days and see how these strategies stand up to me. So with all that said, let's get to today's daily paycheck. All right, good morning all. Welcome. Here we go. We're gonna look again at the mob. We're just testing it out this week. I'm gonna show you how this thing works out. This is a Dice Dr. Dan invention. It's the typical or classic tinkerer strategy. Here's how. I'm going to show you a different level over here today. We're going to do this every day different so you can see. I'm going to play at a big level, but here we go. Let's say you've got a $600 bankroll. $600 bankroll. What you do to start with is you divide your bankroll by 6, so 100 bucks. That is going to be the number that you use to figure out how much you're going to bet in the box. So 100 bucks essentially is 110 inside. I'm going to do that. I'm going to take 100 bucks. We're going to go 110 inside. We'll take this here, and I'm going to get back 90 bucks. 75, 90, and there's our 110, okay? Then you say, well, following that, we're going to go 3 times our flat bet. Whatever the flat bet is, 3 times that, the smallest flat bet. 1, 2, 3, that's your DC bet. Let's say we get a point. The real point is going to be like a 9 or something, right? Then you're into the DC. You have 3 red chips left. Into the DC you go, comes out, let's say it comes out to the 5, and now you're on. These bets were off, by the way. Now you're on. You're playing against the 5 a little bit here, and you're looking for a couple of hits, right? Your point of danger is that, right? When you're in here, the 75 bucks is at risk. That sucks. When you're here on the second roll, this is a risk. The 7's going to be, okay. You win 75, lose 110, you'll be down a few bucks. You'll be down. What is that? You'll be down 45 bucks or 40 bucks, whatever. If you grab the 5, you'll lose 75, win 35, you're down like 40 bucks. So either way, this roll sucks, this next roll sucks. But let's say we get something. Let's say we hit a 6, right? $35 to the bank. And now you're in a can't lose situation. As soon as you get one hit and you rack that up, you're good. No matter what happens, you're gonna be okay. Check it out. If we roll a 5 right here, we would lose the 75, but win 35. And check this out. You're right back out. There's your 75 bucks. Right back into the don't you go. And you're right where you were, minus 5 bucks. Right? Not a big deal if you, after the first hit, you rock it out. Now, if you're here and we pick up a 7, that's going to not be great, but you would have already brought back, 35 bucks in your rack. You pick up a 7 here, you lose all these, but you win 75 up top. Look where your rack is. Back to 110 inside, and back to your $75 in the don't, and you're right back where you started with, right? So after the first any box hit, you're pretty much going to tie, right? Following that, rack it up. Just throw money in the rack all day long. At some point, you can take the 5 and bump it up to like 60 bucks or something like that to kind of hedge off over here and lock this into. But really, that's the whole game. That's the whole strategy. It's basically 2 hits, right? You're looking at surviving the DC getting set, surviving the first hit in the box, and then you're good. Then you can't lose. At that point, you're set up to just collect. On an okay roll, you're going to be just fine. And that's it. Nice and simple. Nice and simple. We're going to do it today with a bigger bankroll than that. So instead of $600, we have 3,000. So 3,000 divided by 6 is 500. Okay. So for me, the 500 becomes 550 inside, effectively, right? So I'm going to take one of those for 500. The other one here, same thing. We're going to get $500 for the other purple. And we're going to go 550 inside, which looks like that. I'm going to take $300 here. We get all greens for that. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, the way this works out, 125, 125, 150, and 150. Okay. That's our, remember, divided by 6. There's our inside bet is there. The smallest bet's 125. That's $375. This is going to be the size of our DC bet. So 3 times that into the DC. And we have 3 greens left. It's the exact same thing I just did, except for they're black and green instead of red and green. Okay, follow me? There they go. That's our setup. We're out for $1,000 on every shooter. Okay, we're going to stop playing when this bet loses 3 times. Not when it loses up here. Okay. But if we lose it coming out of the don't, we're going to count that as a loss. Unless we recover that bet back, we're gonna only suffer 3 losses in here, and that's gonna be our stop loss. Our stop loss will be 375 times 3 coming out of the don't. And that's the thing. Today, Dan, we are not going to press the point when we hit it. We're just going to collect all day long. And at some point, I will press the point, but not early on. Early on, we're going to make sure that we stay in business. Here we go. Let me get my iPad back over here, and we will start the roll tracker up and get ourselves going. You can see the screen, I guess, right? Here we go. Who's let's see, Victor, does your strategy? This is something else. You guys talking about other things. I'm gonna say hello to everybody. Oh, hello, me. I think I was first here. Hello. I was the first one. Hi, John. Good morning, Dave. Yeah, so many people on YouTube, right? It's good. It's good. Joe, of course, sometimes goes long on his show, which is good. If I'm late, it's because Joe has a good roll going, and I want to let him finish up. So that's good. It's good CGTV isn't part of the YouTube fake life nonsense. Dustin One, of course, is here. Randy is here. Good morning, you guys. Who else is here? Let's see. Dustin, Waylon's Way Craps checks in. Good morning, buddy. Ricky's here. Good morning. Joe even checked in. I know you're going to bed there, Joe. Old Man Earl, good to see you again. Michael Blocker, the 10 thrower. Old Michael. Ryan, my good friend Ryan's here, and Victor is here. Everybody knows, oh, John blew Victor up yesterday in chat and blah, blah, blah. Guess what? It's okay. We are fine. Victor and I had a nice chat on the phone yesterday. And all is well. All's well. Here we go. Coming out. We're coming out. We have a bets are all off. They're just there for convenience sake. We're coming out. Just grab a point, and then we'll get the game a-going. Here we go. Root for Dan. Another kiss, and they split, and it's a 6. I got to fix that kissing. 4-2. Did that take? There we go. 4-2-6. That's our point. Don't come as active. Bets are still off. Just looking for a number here. Looking for a number for that don't. This is the one roll, right? This is the worst roll we have. Is this roll here? This one come out roll is the one. Here we go. It's aces. Okay, now Dan and I had to talk about this. 1-1 aces. There's going to be times where this happens, right? You're going to lose that bet sometimes, and you're going to just go ahead and be like the hero. Okay? We are a hero right now. We just won on that bet, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, $750 is coming back to the rack. Okay? Out of the 1,000 that we started with. Actually, if I'm more accurate, there's $825 in the rack right now. We started with $1,000. There's $825 in the rack. That means one hit up in here, and we're good. We don't need the don't bet, right? In this particular shooter, we don't need that don't bet to do a damn thing for us. We're just going to go ahead, and if we suffer the loss, we suffer the loss up in here. We'll let the bets be active now and just be on the rack patrol. We're just going to rack stuff in, okay? Rare that this happens, but when it does happen, we're going to go ahead and just take advantage of it and just, be basically one roll away from being square and just let the dice do what they're going to do. Let's go. That's a better shot. There's a 6 hard. 3, 3, 6. That's going to be our point, and it's going to be 200. Whoops. For $25 out of the rack. 200 for 25 is a good exchange for me. And here's the rack. There's 900, $1,000. Okay, that right there is our starting bankroll. We're back to starting bankroll. We're good. We have 550 inside, which means we're 550 in profit right now. Okay, so when we get the next point, we can make it. We can just walk with 550 and be like, hey, that's a paycheck right there for some people, right? We are trying. Our goal is to win $1,000. We're trying to win 1/3 of our bankroll. We're trying to win 1,000. So I'm not there yet, right? The goal here is to either lose 1,000 or win 1,000, essentially out of this rack. We're gonna go for like a 60% or so win goal. Here we go. Coming back out, bets are off. Seven out. 7 come out. 7. 5, 2. A little better. That's another 6, 4, 2. The lumba, 4, 2, 6. Back on the 6. All right, here we go. Let's start racking up black chips here, right? If we can do it. Four, not on it. All right, here we go. My grip is not right here. Another kiss. It's the 10. We're missing the outsides, Dan. We're missing the outsides. We were talking about, like, how do I get the outsides in this thing, right? This is the time, actually, where I don't have a don't pass, that the outside kind of makes more sense, right? I could go across here. We'll let the insides do their thing, but yeah, you could be outside for sure. Here we go. It's another 10, missing the outsides. 4 and 2 10s, Dan. Here we go. That's a better throw. Finally going to land flat. It's a 5. Thank you. Geez, that took forever to get a damn hit, didn't it? That's a 5 that pays 175. Okay. And again, everything here is now pure. Pure profit. Even if we throw a you know what here, that's locked up, which is cool. Eight, 5, 3, 8. That was a good throw. 5, 3. That's an 8. That's going to pay 200 for a quarter. It pays 175, but we'll drop a quarter. Get a couple of blacks into the rack. Oh, kiss again. It's another 5, 4, 1. We'll take it, but I'm not loving how they're landing. Again, 200 for a quarter. Okay, and now I've got 500 in profit. Okay, and I've got 550 up there, which means we're at our $1,000. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna be smart. There's $1,000. Whoops, I dropped the green chip. There's $1,000. Okay, that's profit. 75 bucks left over. Okay, this could be excess play or whatever you want to. You can do whatever you want with the 75 bucks. To me, I call that basically done. So we'll just go, I'm gonna borrow $1 from a friend and we'll go 76 inside. Let's get some quarters here. I owe my neighbor $1. Whoops, wrong rack. We'll go 20, 20, 18, and 18. We'll put 76 in. We burned the $75, so what? So what? We made our paycheck. Nice and easy again today. Now, we haven't had this thing struggle yet. It will struggle, trust me. I was playing last night, and it took me, I burned the bankroll 4 times trying to make a paycheck. It totally happens, right? But if you catch the right situation, and it didn't take much, right? If you look back at the rolls here, right? We set a point. We got lucky here with the aces, brought back 375, so we were basically hooked up. We set a new point of 6. We got paid right away. When we hit the point, we got paid, right? That first hit locked profit, whatever it was, 100 bucks, whatever that was. From that point on, you're just going to go. And the 4, 10, 10, we got nothing on that. There's 3 wasted rolls, but we got 3 other hits and we're done, right? 3 times the 175, you got your 500 bucks and you're out. It just takes 3 hits to get out of here with your paycheck in that situation. Here we go. Let's just finish out the roll, and I may reset it, okay? A good sequence in any strategy is a good sequence. There's the 7, 5, 2. Talking too much, get a 7. When you hit the right sequence in any strategy, obviously you're going to win. We haven't seen this one have a bad time yet. Maybe this time we will. Let's put the $1,000 back in the bank. Let's get ourselves reset with everything. I'll get the DC bet ready. 1, 2, 3. 125, 150, 150, 125, 375, and $75 to the rack. We're reset. Puck is off. Everything's off. New shooter. Or a new day. Let's pretend it's a new day, right? Brant, that was Tuesday morning. Now we're coming back Tuesday after lunch. We're gonna get some free pizza over there at the GVR. Some of that awesome pizza. Maybe I'll even have myself a little celebratory whiskey. Come on back after lunch. We'll play it again. Let's hope session 2 goes like session 1 did. And what I'm really hoping to see here is if we catch a point that's not an inside point. I want to see us catch a don't point that's an outside point so you can see how we play that out. But here we go. Let's come on out. Everything's off, just there for convenience. Looks like a 9, 6, 3. Here we go. This is on. These are off. We're coming out of the don't. And let's do it. Here we go. Oh my God, what a huge hit. That's ace deuce. Are you kidding me? So twice we're gonna get the miracle run, right? I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ignore that. I know we got it. I want you to watch, again, this is testing week, right? So let's ignore this. I don't want to get an easy paycheck. Let's pretend that didn't happen. Okay, I'll log into the roll track first, but I'm not going to pay myself. Let's pretend it didn't happen. I want to get us into different situations so you can watch how to play it out. Again, that's nice that it happened twice in a row, but it doesn't always happen that way. Let's ignore it, and let's let that go somewhere else. I want to hopefully get something different to happen. Here we go. That's going to be a 10. Okay, this is great, great. 6, 4, 10. So watch what we do here. 6, 4, 10. This now goes behind the 10, okay? And you've got your inside bets. So you got to cover the 10, right? The whole point of this thing is you cover the point a little bit. So we're going to pick a number to cover the 10 with. It doesn't matter which one you move over there. I'm just going to move the 9 over because it's closest. It doesn't really matter, but we're going to cover the 10 with another bet. Okay, 125 over here. That'll pay us 250, obviously, right? Against the 375. So if we do catch a buckshot, we're going to get hurt, but not quite that bad. Okay. So you leave. You're still having 4 place bets. It's just we're not going to have the 9 now. We'll have the 10, but not the 9. And again, we're looking for a few hits here, right? That was the one danger zone. This roll here is the next danger roll. Now we've got to be like, this is the one that you need to have a little bit of sweat about. Let's catch a number here, and then we're going to be fine. Once we catch a number here, we're totally fine. Here we go. That's going to be a 10, so we bang it out. Okay, good, good. We're going to be in a bad space. 6, 4, 10. We'll lose 375. You're going to win 250. So that roll cost you 125. So now we're down 125. Puck is going to be off. I'm going to move this over here just to keep it out of the way. But now we got to go back out. Okay, now we got to buy in for a little bit. We got to break a black, get ourselves reset. There's 375. Okay, and here we go. We're going to fight it from a little bit behind now, right? You buckshot those points. That shit happens on every point that happens. So that's just I'm glad that we got to see that today. Here we go. Coming out again, brand new point. Everything is off up top. None of that stuff is working. Oh, we're still at a point of 9. I'm sorry. My bad. We're on a point of 9. These bets are off while this is coming out. We're gonna recom. Those bets are off. I'm gonna stay in rhythm. I'm not gonna let. And Dan can pipe in on chat. I'm not gonna let the shooter finish. I'm just gonna come right back out and reset the bets and let this thing play through. Let's get that don't come bet set. Here we go. It's a 2-2-4. So this time it goes to the other side of the table. And I'm gonna make the same move. Okay, this goes to the 4. We'll slide the 5 over. And now we're working the 6, 8, 9. And we're trying to avoid the 4. Good. Let's make this thing have to come back. Let's see how she comes back. All right, here we go. That's going to be a 6, a 4, 2, 6. Very, very hard throw there by me. Not good. All right, it pays 200 for 25. Okay, now we're good on this shooter. Okay, there is $500, by the way. I'm going to keep the rack clean. So we have 125 in the rack. I got 550 here plus 375. So that's 550. That's 6, 7, 850 plus 75 is 9.25. 1,025, 1,050. So we're up $50 right now. Okay, we survived this roll. We survived this roll. Now we're in a no lose. It's all about how much can we win. Once you get to here, it's how much can I win, not how much might I lose, which is a nice part of the strategy, Dan. I like the switch over. It's cool. Here we go. Hard 4. Are you kidding, dude? All right, so we're gonna lose a little bit here. Again, $250 minus 125 in net losses, but we won 175 earlier, right? Let's check our rack. I'm gonna see where we are here after that event. We'll go back out here again, but I want to see where we are really quick. 2, 3, 4, 500, 6, 7, 800, 925 bucks. Okay, so after getting whacked on the 10 and getting whacked on the 4, we can see that we're down $75. That's where we are right now. We're down 75 bucks. Okay, let's go on back out again. We're still playing that same point, right? 125, 150, 125, 150. 375 into the don't. We just don't have our $75 bullets in here anymore, right? But we've recovered a couple of them. So here we go. Again, the role of concern is now, can't have a 7 right now. There's an 8. Alrighty. 6-2. So this goes behind the 8. The rest of the bets just stay still. Now our next bet of concern is that 8, right? We got to get past a roll of 8 here one time. Here we go. That's a 3. That was good. It's a 7. So here it is. We don't get our second hit, right? This is, again, the other case. We've knocked off this don't. We knocked off that don't. Now we catch a 7 before we get any numbers. We're going to be down, okay? We're going to be down again. Okay, 375. 1, 2, 3, 75. So that time it cost us $175. We were already down 75. Okay, so between this loss and the 75 we were down to start this little session over here with, what is that going to be? It's going to be $250 we were down altogether. Got some work to do. We've got some work to do. Let's get reset. There's our next DC bet will be in there. I didn't mark that in the roll tracker. 617. We're going to be at 568. We'll get the 5 and the 6 done. We got to get the purple chip broken to make our rest of our bets. There's 400. There's the 9, 8, and 9. So we're going to have a little bit of money back in the rack here, but we have to get some work done. Okay. Put the quarter over here for safekeeping, and now let's go. That rack is not very well in view, is it? Okay, here we go. Everything's off. The bets are just there for convenience. Yes, Jen, the bets were off. I'm sorry, I didn't see your comment there. When you're out of the DC, coming out of the DC, all the bets get turned off, for sure, yeah. Otherwise, that 7 will be like a $1,000 loss. We don't want to have that. Here we go. It looks like a 9. That's going to be our new point. 639. Move you there. Okay, now, coming out of the DC, right? Bets are off. Now they're off. I just put them up there so I have to bend over twice. I'm just being lazy. All right, let's get that DC bet out. Oh boy, big hit, big hit. Oh, here it is, right? Here's the other bad case. This is good, this roll's good. We're learning all the bad things. Come out 7, whack. Big whack over there, right? That's gonna be, and what we do is in our rack, we're gonna note that as 1 loss, right? We're upside down a big number. So let's mark that in. It was a 5-2 or 4-3. So we have 1 loss. We count this whack as one of your trigger points to run away. We're down more than that because we lost up in here last time, so we have some work ahead of us. Let's catch a new point and try and catch back up. The first time, right, was super easy. When we struggle pretty hard. You start getting come out 7s in here, you start whacking your don't points, and it gets really, really ugly, really, really fast. Here we go. To 6, 5-1. All right, that's gonna be our point. We need to go 375 out. I need to break a black chip to get that done. 400, 500. Okay, 375 up. We get that one set. When I've had this thing go south, this is what happens. You get in this really shit rhythm and you start losing these things really fast, you know? Here we go. Box numbers are off. Don't come as active. Oh my God, what a huge bounce. It's a 5. I gotta be much better with these dice. 4, 1. All right, you come behind the 5. That was our first scary roll. Now let's get an inside number and call it good. Lock that profit in. Come on, Johnny. How about a little cup of coffee here? The lunch session's not going so well, is it? Here we go. Yeah, Jen, the big DC, again, you know how I feel about the hedging on it, but it's a big DC, and the reason it's three times whatever the smallest line bet is. That's the way you figure it out. You'll see when I hedge it off later on, it's going to make more sense, but it's a huge bet. That's a big loss. It's the one part of this thing that's like, get a little scared, right? There's a 3, ace, deuce. Nowhere do we care about that. Here we go. How about a nice inside number there, shooter? What do you think, huh? 5. Of course. Boy, this is the worst case, right? We're hitting everything wrong. We'll lose 375. We're going to win 175. So that costs you another $200, right? We are getting destroyed here, Dan. But it's good to see. There's 375. To go back in again, these are off. We've hit every bad situation, right? We've hit a come out 7. We've had 1, 2, and 3 numbers get pegged up there. So here's, again, a good shooter, kind of good shooters are beating you, right? That's a huge bummer. Let's put that 5 in. All right, come back out. Let's go. This looks like, yeah, me and Dan worked Saturday. This is what happened to me Saturday. I was just pegging all the points up there. It is what it is, right? Either it comes back or it doesn't come back, right? But we're going to try and scope our loss to some point. There's a 6, 3, 9. You go behind the 9, and let's get a couple inside hits. And just treat every hand like it's gold, right? Every hand here potentially is going to be the one like the first one. It's going to get us good. We just got to get one inside hit to lock it in, right? Where the hit we get here locks us in. We just haven't gotten that in 3 shooters now. Where three don'ts have suffered not getting locked in. There's an 8. So that'll do it. That'll lock in. 5, 3, 8. So for this series, we can't lose. 200 for a quarter. Now we've lost before, obviously, but for this set of bets, we're going to be okay. We still have to recover 1, 2, 3 sets of loss plus this. We got to recover a ton of money here to get back to even again. But at least right now we're going to be okay for what we're looking at. Yeah, now we're going to see if we can catch up. Right now we're going to see if we catch up, Dan. This is what's going to happen. Here we go. That's better. Another 3. Boy, the ace deuces are coming today, aren't they? 1, 2, 3 again. That's got to be, well, and not a repeater, but between all the shooters, that's a million of those things. All right, here we go. Box number, baby. Come on. Seven. We cannot get anything today. Good Lord. Okay, that's fine. 1, 2, 375. 175 off the table, but we took 175 off the table, so we're okay, right? That's that tie situation. It's not a big deal. There's 375 there. There's 125 for the 5. Break this up here. We got our 6 covered. And off we go again. 4, 3. Everything's off. What time is it? 7:43. We can do one more shooter. That's all I got time for. Coming out, it's a 5, 3, 2, 5. I've considered, by the way, instead of doing this, having a pass line bet and then taking odds behind it, instead of just covering the point here, just taking odds and jacking the odds up. I've thought about doing that instead of what we're doing here, but here we go. It's a 5-3 set. We're coming out of the don't. Let's get a number. Let's get a number. It's going to be a 4. Okay. I like that. 3, 1, 4. So this DC will travel behind the 4. I'm just going to move the 5 over in front of it. And now we're looking for 6, 8s, and 9s. 6, 8, or 9. Not a 4. Not a 4, shooter. Not a 4, not a 7. A 6, 8, or a 9. Let's get ourselves even. There's a 6. 4, 2. Not a good throw, but que sera. That's going to be, again, for a quarter. It's $200. And now, again, for this series, we're good. Worst case happens here, we tie. Best case happens, we roll some numbers. And again, I may spread out at some point. Here we go. Oh my God, what a terrible throw. It's a 9, 6, 3. 6, 3, 9. That'll pay, again, $175. Now watch, I'm going to take the $175, okay? I'm going to pick up the 5 for $75 and rack a black. Those blacks look like a purple. I have enough of them to make a purple chip show back up again. Now at least I got the 5 picked up. Okay, we'll get a black chip on a 5 now. I may grab the 10 on a future hit. I may increase my bet on the 4 on a future hit. I don't know yet. Here we go. Another kiss. I cannot, there's a hard 4. I cannot get these dice to separate. And again, that's the second time I've whacked my 4. $250 there. Lose 125, but we're okay. I take the 4 down. 375 into the don't. My 5 is low. Right, it needs money on the 5, but for now, it's fine. Let's come on back out. Bets are off. Well, that 4, I'll tell you what, usually you think that's a pretty safe bet. The 4 and the 10 both. Between them 3 times today, we lost our DC on those things. Picked them off 3 times today. 5. That goes to the 5. 4, 1. So here we go. Behind the 5 we go. Puck is going to be off. This pays 105, which is cool. Okay, let's normalize it. We'll make it $100 and $125 like it should be. This goes back to the rack. And here we go. Everything's working. When I have a DC bet out here, everything's on. So we're still in that same spot, right? The next DC hit, or the next box hit rather, is what puts us in the guarantee. Here we go, coming out. Everything's working, coming out. It's all working. Yo, 11, yo. Doesn't matter. 6, 5. Here we go. Oh my God, there's more hits, more. There's a 7. Just keep hitting those damn things when they land every time. Okay, well, that's cool. We don't get our box hit like last time, right? So there's $375. Again, we lose 175. And that's it. I'm going to have to stop there because of time. But where do we end up? I'm not sure we got that killed. It seems pretty bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 500. That's a purple chip. 1, 2. There's $200 in black. So in our rack, here's where we ended up. 1,000, 2,000, 325. Okay, 2330. So we end up losing $700. Okay, and it was a terrible. And again, some of these strategies that I run, I go, oh, that was not too bad. $700 is a lot of damn money to lose, right? But all that flailing around, right? We got beat on the 10, the 5, and the 4, and we took a come out 7 in here too, right? Plus that last come out 7 up there. We got beat a lot, but really, we're pretty well protected, right? The way that the sequence of bets works, the way all these things work together, you don't get destroyed. You lose, you bleed out, and we bled out $700 today, but we didn't get destroyed. It felt like it, but we didn't get absolutely murdered today. That loss is acceptable to me, right? If you're going to play like that and lose 700 and change, you go, well, that's it. We're done for time. We got beat twice. Time to get out of here. The earlier session, you won whatever it was, $1,100, right? For the day, you're up 400. For those 2 sessions, the win outpaced the loss in terms of dollars, which is kind of what I want to do with this strategy, is make sure my wins outpace my losses. So when we're winning, we're going to keep on freaking winning. I'm not going to pull the bets down. We're going to we'll regress and let it keep happening. The losses, we're going to mitigate the loss. We're going to let the losses kind of stop at a certain point, like we did today. And that's the way that you do this thing. That's the way this thing is going to work out. There it is, $3,000 for tomorrow. We will try it again. Dan, it's a good strategy. And I think we saw about the worst case here, right? Come out loser, whack, whack, whack on the DC points, and also a couple of quick 7s where we lost the 550, right? We saw every possible bad thing, and we still didn't get destroyed. So I think that's a positive, not a negative. There it is, 437. We'll mark out the roll tracker. And I'm looking at my rolls today, by the way. The last 2 shooters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rolls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rolls. 7 rolls and 8 rolls. You can make money on those things, right? But there's a lot of 4s and 10s in there, and we're not getting paid in the outsides. I think we got to find a way to pick the outsides up, even if it's for a quarter, right? Even if it's $25, that 75 we have in here, even if it's 25 on each number, to get something out of the 4s and 10s, I think it's got to be a thing. So anyway, there it is. And we also, Michael Blocker says, I also forgot the first ace deuce, right? I didn't count that one, right? We totally didn't count that one. That whole hand would have played differently if we had that ace deuce counted, because remember, we won early. But yeah, I wanted to get into I wanted you to see the bad spot. I wanted you to see how this thing plays when it's not going well. And luckily we had a 410 as a point. You could see it. It was good. Today was a really good visual. So there it is, guys. I'm going to go clean up in here. I'll see you downstairs for the coffee run in about 10. Go feed them pups. Yeah, I should have counted it, right? But the reason why, Jen, not to, was I wanted to force us to have hopefully a bad situation. I wanted to make it happen, instead of it feeling like it's too easy. Because sometimes when these things look too easy, we get a false sense of security. So I totally, yeah. And Jen, actually, that 350. Remember, I would have the next shot after that 350. What happened? I set the 4 and then I whacked the 4. But remember the sequence. I lost 350, or I didn't count that, right? Then we set the DC, went to the 4, and we hit the 4. Remember that whole thing? That would have been in the rack, not behind the 4. We wouldn't have lost the 350 when we picked the 4, right? We would have just been on the inside. We would not have even lost that money either. So that actually was probably a profit move had we played it out the right way. But again, I wanted you to see. I'm glad that it worked out the way it did. I'm glad that we got to fight a little bit, and you can see the rhythm of it, because I may not get in that rhythm every day. And I think, anyway, I wanted to force it. So there it is. I know I did the wrong thing, technically speaking, but there we go, guys. Have a good day. I'll see you downstairs. See you downstairs for the coffee run. I want you to think, by the way, on the way down, think about all the ways that you can be a good gambler. My show title today is Be a Great Gambler, 10 Ways to Be a Great Gambler. I would like to know from you all the things that you would characterize somebody as a great gambler? What is it about a great gambler that would stand out to you? I have my thoughts. I'd love to get your thoughts too. So mull that over. I'll see you in the coffee run in about 15. Bye, all.